all of you on Instagram. And I think we're first going to start our little chat today with Unicorizer from Kolkata. Okay, that's nice. Candice Francis. T. Shikendu. Hi sir, how are you? Rohan Agarwal, how are you sir? I'm also well. Alright, I think that's good enough. It's 8:03, so we begin. Firstly, let me tell you, a very good evening. Somebody said discuss how Shopto says discuss how the national media who are concerned about Bengal shunned her during prime time. Well, you well said. You know, one of the reasons to be on Instagram with all of you, firstly, it makes me feel young. Secondly, you know, DIY. In the 80s and 90s, what DIY meant. Someone's asking me about flights. I'll answer all your questions. DIY meant do it yourself. You know, for example, if you go to an IKEA store, you have to buy the furniture, and then come home and then make the furniture, literally, put it together. So DIY was do it yourself. For me, this medium, Instagram, is also a DIY. Yeah, it is DIY because it is dynamic. That's D. Because I can listen to you and you can listen to me. It is I. It is interactive. And it is Y. Dynamic, interactive, and this is about you. So this is not me talking down to you. Level playing field. I'm enjoying this. And the other important thing is, since it's dynamic, interactive, and it's about you, the subject we're going to choose is something which I think has been so terribly represented, but I'm not here to crib. Every television channel can do their own thing. I'm here to share with you. So Bengal and the cyclone. Just give me a few minutes to give you a broad idea. Firstly, if you are in Calcutta, I have some updates for those of you who are in Calcutta, right? The first update is that, before I give you any update, the scale of this cyclone. We don't want to go, I've got some technicalities here according to the National Disaster Management Plan. What is the category? But just to give you an idea, 1737 was the Great Bengal Cyclone. So people are saying, and obviously they weren't scientifically had a Met Office to record cyclones at that time, but anecdotal evidence suggests that this one is perhaps bigger than the cyclone of 1737. So it's massive. Normally what happens is, you know, the tail of the cyclone would come maybe Odisha or a little bit of Bengal, a little bit of Bangladesh. That was the trend. But this time it's Bengal, Bengal, Bengal. So good luck then to those in Odisha who missed this. And someone said, Oais says KP doing a great job. Yes, Oais, Kolkata police doing a great job. So Bengal got the brunt of it. And now in the last 3 or 4 days, we are kind of assessing the damage. I've got some figures to share with you without boring you, just to give you a sense of how big this was. First, let me tell you about the paisa. So now most of my Instagram stuff is not political, okay? Yes, I know I'm in Trinamool Congress, but these are interactions with you. I don't need to get political. This is a chat, okay? And the sharing of information, my political beliefs, you know what they are, and my ideology. Now, please, yesterday the Prime Minister announced 1,000 crore to Bengal. We need everybody's cooperation, so this is not the time for politics. Politics can wait till the winter, not now. No political party should do politics on a cyclone, on a disaster, on any disaster. So be it COVID or be it the cyclone. So this is like a double whammy. On one side you have COVID and then you have the cyclone. So coming back to the 1,000 crores, yes, the Prime Minister was in Bengal yesterday and we want cooperation from everyone. So we announced 1,000 crores, and I'm sure the 1,000 crores will come very quickly to the state. But just to give all of you a sense of what 1,000 crores is, I've only got 4 figures. Bengal at this moment, and I'm sure you can work it out for your own states. Pradeep Banerjee is already telling me that Bengal, Pradeep, you're right, is 53,000 crores. In fact, I put up a post, 1-minute post, so I'll quickly give you the figures. What's the breakup of this 53,000 crores? 36,000 crores from central schemes. I've got a breakup of that as well, 36,000 crores. We've got 11,000 crores for economic students here. That's devolution from the central taxes to the states. So each of your states, different states, my state Bengal has 11,000. So 36 and 11 will make it 47. I was always bad at math. 3,000 crores is the GST. That is GST for December, January, February, March 31st. If you add April, 3,000 crores. That takes it to 50,000 crores plus 3,000 crores under various other heads, miscellaneous heads. So 53,000 crores is owed to Bengal. We yesterday were promised 1,000 crores. We'll probably get that 1,000 crores. But I wanted you to understand the context of the money. Now you come to the context of the damage which is caused. Before I give you the context of the damage, I'm sure if you're in Calcutta and in some of the urban areas, you want to know what's going on. So let me first give you some updates. First, the bad news. Bad news is there are so far 86 deaths. 86 deaths. And what is actually saddening is some of these 86 deaths. Now, 86 could have been, thank God it's not 860 or 8,600. Thankfully, 5 lakh people were evacuated. Remember, I can understand why the state, why people were scared to even be evacuated because of the social distancing, physical distancing. So that was the challenge anyway. So 5 lakh people got evacuated. The deaths, the figure today is 86. And in parts of Calcutta, from what I've just been reading, trees all over not only Calcutta, but all over the state. So many districts have been affected. We'll come to that later. But to give you the update on Calcutta, I've just got news that's about 85% of the electricity use has already been restored in Calcutta, 84% or 85. And I think that the other electricity will be restored. Lots of you in Calcutta don't have a good connection. And the other thing you know about Calcutta is in Calcutta and in Diamond Harbour and a couple of other places in South Calcutta, the army is there helping with the chopping trees. The National Disaster Relief Force is there, the NDRF, the state SDRF is there. So all this is happening. They'll be working overnight. But this is massive. This is kind of a massive cyclone. Now, I'm going to just because I thought you might be interested in this, because I've got today the Chief Minister of Bengal, and I'll give you enough time to ask questions. Today the Chief Minister of Bengal visited one district. The 2 biggest districts in Bengal geographically are north of the airport, that's North Chobbish Pargana, and South Calcutta, which is South Chobbish Pargana, which is south of Calcutta. So she went today to South Chobbish Pargana. Now, the numbers there are absolutely devastating. Just quickly going to give you the numbers. This is one district out of 20 plus districts. Houses damaged. This is South Chobbish. 10 lakh. It's 1 million. Poles damaged. 41,000. Public water supply system damaged. 41. Embankment broken. Now, so you got to fix the embankment. 56 kilometers of embankment. 56 kilometers of it have been broken. Embankment breaches, 32 embankment breaches area affected, 6 kilometers. C drive damaged, 2.5 kilometers. Blocks affected in the state, 29, not in the state, in the district. Gram Panchayats affected, 310. Total public affected in this district, 73 lakh, one district in Bengal. Farmers, 1.43 lakhs. Cultivated area. I just want to stop here. cultivated area in one district is showing 19,577 acres. Total in Bengal is 55 lakh acres. So these are some real serious numbers. Cattle sheds damaged, 97,000. You might be wondering, why is Derek giving us these figures? I'm giving you these figures to try and get a sense. So far, just one district. Distribution transformers damaged, 269. Did you see some of those sparks happening? And that also because electricity was put off in many places. Substations damaged, 51. Boats affected, 300. Fishery area, 15,600. Fishermen affected, 3.2 lakh. In fact, now it's difficult in many places to see where the pond begins and where the land ends. The reason this has been put out, because this is now, the first is the damage assessment. Because unless you assess the damage, well, obviously the first is relief. So for the relief, we are in no hurry to send people back to their homes. Because if that happens, yeah, someone says, RK Brothers, yeah, these are crazy figures. These are very sad figures. And these are not, suddenly for an Instagram show. These are the government's hard work. The officers have been working very, very hard to come up with these figures. As I said, this is one of the most affected districts. So we'll get the figures for North 24 Parganas. Like when the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister were on that helicopter, they were over these districts as well. I'm going to tell you something very interesting, and that's why I said we can have a nice. It's depressing. Why is the national media not covering it? Someone asked me, Unicorsia. I've always believed that you have to, and I hope whether you agree. A lot of the things I'll say to you on these Instagram chats, you may not agree with. Okay, so you don't have to agree with everything. No. But allow me to express myself, and then you can disagree. Why is the national media? Now I can sit here and complain that why is the national media not covering this? They are covering all kinds of other things. Firstly, the term national media is also not quite correct. It's the media based in Delhi, which is called the national media. The media based in Delhi, which is called the national media. So I don't know. Some people say they're not covering it because Bengal is not important. Some people say that cyclone relief is not high TRP, more masala, Now I don't know, and I don't want to. I'm sure you have your own opinion, but I am not the kind of person who's going to say, "Oh, in the whole capital city, this is Dehradun." Okay, someone from Dehradun. Yeah, this is Bengal. This is this has 55 lakh hectares of agricultural land. 55 lakh. Did I get that number right? Yeah, 55 lakh hectares. So I'm not going to sit here and complain why somebody is not covering or why somebody is covering. Why should I be bothered about that? I think what we need to do and what people need to do is reach out. So here I am on Instagram, willing to listen. By the way, if any of you have something to ask me, sir, can I ask a question? Of course you can, Karate Shomik. But if you want to DM me, if you want to direct message me on Instagram anytime, at least once or twice a day, I'll take a look and I'll try and answer your questions. Okay? I will try and answer your questions, but I'm not going to sit here and complain about what happened, because the challenge here is, on one side you've got Corona and on one side you've got the cyclone. Chief Minister said something very, very important yesterday, and I think looking at these numbers which are coming, she's saying the cyclone is way more difficult, way more bigger than even Corona. There's a very nice question here from this is interesting, OS 2109. Why is this not being declared as a national disaster? Can't the NDMA take this issue up? Very nice. I'll try and answer this. And for this, this is very, very interesting that you asked me this. And I hope as we examine the relief and rehab and tell you all about it. One more thing about, excuse me. One more thing about Calcutta. For those of you who want to know why the connections low, yesterday we had a opposition party conference where the Chief Minister herself was there. I was at the conference from Delhi. There also the internet connection was low. So don't panic. It will all be improved. It will improve. Now, the definition of a national calamity. For this, you have to refer to the National Policy on Disaster Management 2009. and the National Disaster Management Plan of 2016. So this is definition of a category 3 disaster. Definition of a category 3 disaster. What does it say? It says nearly catastrophic situation, a very large catastrophe which involves the district as well as the states. And somewhere in the 10th Finance Commission it is mentioned, it's mentioned only in the 10th Finance Commission, that 1/3 of the people in a state should be affected. So one thing is certain, this is not 1/3 of the people, cannot be 1/3 of the people. This is somewhere around 2/3. Now, I don't want to make a guess here because I said the administration wants another couple of days, but a very safe guess at the directly affected. I'm not talking about indirectly, because indirectly I think the whole state is affected. Somewhere between 6 crore to 7 crore people are affected. Now, on the lower side, 6 crore. On the higher side, 7 crore directly affected in a state of 10 crore, 11 crore. That's the kind of number. That's why, again, this is a guesstimate. The number which, if you deduce from here, and how do you deduce? You can take your earlier disasters, you know, the Fani disaster, the Bulbul disaster, and look at those numbers. And then if you look at these numbers, ballpark estimate, and when you make a ballpark, you can be 10% more, 10% less. Looks to be 1.3, 1.4 billion US dollars. Billion US dollars. Quickly in rupees, ballpark again, 1 lakh crore. Yep, 1 lakh crore. And in all this is a state which was doing so well with testing, so well with recovery rates. Challenge in the next 7-10 days is to get the COVID challenge and to also do this challenge, you know. So that's the way we have to, yes. I'm not complaining, says someone, but it's so unique, Coriza. Not complaining, but it's so upsetting that the people here are so helpless and they have to convince people to care. Yeah, but I don't think it's so bad. I saw a lovely video this morning from Calcutta. I don't know, it was posted on Twitter and on Insta, I think, of this doggy. Did you see that video? Lovely. There was a doggy at this parapet, and there were 2 young men with their masks on, 2 young men. And it was knee-deep water. May have shot me yesterday. And how sweet. They went to the doggy, which otherwise would have gone and, you know, but the doggy was very, very meek, you know, and they picked the doggy up and rescued the dog. What a beautiful. So I think we must remain karate shomik আমফান নিয়ে অনেক রাজনীতি হচ্ছে. A lot of politics with this, yes, sadly. আমাদের CM অনেক কাজ করেছেন. CM has done lot of work, but কেউ এটা নিয়ে অনেক রাজনীতি করছেন. Please এটা নিয়ে কিছু বলুন. এটা নিয়ে তো বলছি. I'm just speaking today in English and in Bengali for this one. Yes, but I think, you know, if anybody in Bengal really knows what kind of a lady this India's only woman chief minister presently, the only one. She's a workaholic. She's passionate. No sitting around at home. You know, she's like right out there. Look at her today. Look at her 3 days ago in the emergency in that control room. Today, zoop. We think we have a lot of pressure. Nothing. Our pressure is nothing. She was in Kakdeep. For those of you who know, is the tip of South Chobbish Pargana. Then I was wondering where she's going to come next. Zoom. She was back in the Howrah, Nabanno, and doing, you know, so she's, I mean, we're blessed. Now, some of you have also asked, Tommy Shara Bollam, as I said, this is not for anybody to do politics. Thank you, Renuka Srinivasan. Kudos to the hard work that the ground workers have put in to evacuate lots of people from the cyclone effect. Yes, Renuka, thank you for saying things like this. It's actually the people on the ground. It's actually the officers, the BDO, everybody working on the ground. What about the police? What a wonderful job. And in all this, let's not forget the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare workers. They are doing That at the side, you know. So all this is happening. Army, yes, in a few places. In Tollygunj, Ballygunj, Rajarat, Newtown, Diamond Harbour, Behala. Why? Because basically the idea now is to first clear the trees of the main roads. You know, and it's also important at this time. Thank you, Renuka. It's also important that at this time to ensure that the medicines are all in place, because this is snake bite season coming up. So venom, diarrhea, so those medicines, and water, water. This has been wonderful. I just thought I'd leave you with one thing. Lots of you have asked me on Twitter today, and lots of people, in fact, West Bengal State Disaster Management Authority has been. So for those who would like to contribute, I know you're young people, there some of you are still in college, but even if you give us $10 or 50 rupees or 100 rupees, we will appreciate it. We will appreciate it. You don't have to give only 1 lakh and 50,000. No, whatever you can give to be with the people of Bengal. This is the West Bengal State Disaster Management Authority. I'm not going to read out the bank account and the details, because if I do that, I read a wrong number. So I'm going to put it up on Insta in a short while. In about 1 hour's time, I'm going to put this up. This is the West Bengal State Disaster Management Authority, where you can contribute. There is the Chief Minister's Relief Fund also, but this one is also good. West Bengal State Disaster Management Authority. We have another fund for COVID, but if you give money for COVID, then that money cannot be used for cyclones, if you want to make that. And I'll try and update you with some of you who want to give dry food, water, whatever, in whichever way you can. And it's not the amount which you give, it's more the thought. And I think the other thing which you can do, situation is very sad. What about the minimum 1,000 crore? What use is that? We need more. Yes. Sukumar, we need more, I know. But that's a start. As I said, this is a spirit of cooperation. National disaster, it should be announced as soon as possible. Yes, but we've already got, you know, it's nice. The Prime Minister of Bhutan called up today, spoke to the Chief Minister of Bengal. Odisha, as our neighboring state, have offered some help. So we need to come together for this. And as I'm making this appeal to all of you young people here who are watching, you too can help us. Let's keep the politics out. As politicians, we'll do our job. Our job is public service. Captain of that ship is Captain Fantastic. But if you see anyone getting vicious on the social media, tell them, please, hold on, 23rd of May. I'm going to end this program on a personal note. Today is the 61st. My parents, both who passed away, my mother passed away 1 year and 4 months ago. My dad passed away almost 4 years ago. In 1959, on the 23rd of May, Neil and Joyce O'Brien, my parents, were married. Let's remember them. My brothers, their spouses, children, myself, all of us. Love you, Dad. Love you, Mum. We remember you fondly.